Hello guys, welcome back to Seat Riders. Today we've got 2019 Kawasaki Ninja 125. It's the Performance Edition. Stick around to the end for the exhaust noise, but for now I'll pass you over to Jack.
So I've had this bike for about 3 weeks now. Top speed on the bike is 72 miles an hour. This is fuel injected. It's 15.8 brake horsepower with 11 foot-pounds of torque. The 0 to 60 is about 15 to 20 seconds, give or take. This bike has ABS. The brakes are brilliant. The ABS does scare me quite a bit because I'm not very used to having ABS on any sort of bike. So for it to engage, it does scare the life out of me because I feel like I've broken the chain or something. It is 100 at the front and 130 for the back for the wheels. It has 6 gears. It's a 6-speed 4-stroke. It's a lot of fun, very nimble, very agile. You can get about. It does all the daily commuting that you'd need. It's very good for filtering as well through traffic. You don't really have to worry about the size of the bike. It's very thin, and it's a lot of fun to ride. But the suspension on this bike is adjustable. It's very good. I'm 5'10" and I'm able to stand up on this bike flat-footed very easily. The seat height is roughly about, I'd say about 83 centimeters off the ground. It's very, very good. The pillion seat, however, is very, very taller than the rider's seat. It's very fun to have people on the back of it, but when you're braking with the ABS, they do feel like they're going to go over the top of you, which you have to be very, very, very cautious of. So the tank size is apparently able to hold up to 11 litres. It does about 122 miles per gallon. The only storage I currently have is under the pillion seat, which has the tools that came with the bike. For long journeys, the bike can be very uncomfortable. However, you just have to really kind of adjust your seating position every now and again, pull over, stretch your legs out, and you'll be fine. The main pain when riding the bike is you get a severe pain in your arms, your wrist, and your thumb, especially when you're changing gear or whenever you're trying to slow down. So the good points about this bike is that it does have a very easy way of getting to the top speed. The top speed, like I said, is 72 miles an hour. However, it's very, very nimble. It catches up to traffic very easily. I'm very easily able to filter through traffic and cruise roughly 45 miles an hour through traffic. The upgrades that I've done to the bike as of right now are frame sliders or crash protectors and a tail tidy. I do plan on getting some heated grips and possibly some LEDs later on in the future, and changing the halogen bulb up to an LED. The bad points about this bike is when I went to buy the bike, because of lockdown I wasn't actually able to go and visit it. I was only sent a picture of the bike, or a few pictures of the bike, and a video of the bike that was not running at the time. When the bike showed up, the bike's coil pack was completely busted. I had to send the bike back the day before my 18th birthday, with absolutely no money in hand, no bike at all. I had no way of commuting anywhere. I don't know if it was the dealership's problem or if it was a common fault with the bike. I haven't really looked into it. But from what I was aware, the dealership knew and understood that the bike had that problem before they sent it out to me. The bike has been very, very reliable since I've had the bike back. I've had the bike back now for about 3-ish weeks, give or take. The modifications that I know improve the bike are being unrestricted by the ECU. That's the only modification that I can really think of. I paid £3,500 for this bike. That's including delivery and VAT. Yeah, it was brand new at the time that I bought the bike. The mileage was roughly, I think it was 1,000 miles to the bike. As of right now, it's got 3,700 miles on it. So this bike does have indicator clickers like a car, which is always helpful, and it reminds you really just to turn them off if you forget. With this bike, there is no gear indicator. It is limited to 12,000 RPM, and it does tell you on the dash. It does have a clock, and it also tells you from trip A to B and how many miles you've done in that time. You're able to change it between miles per hour and kilometers an hour. It's all digital. Myself personally, I would really recommend this bike to people who want to get on a bike, who are very scared of getting on a bike, and it's a very good learner bike. Only thing is you have to be a bit careful when it comes to the gearing on this bike because it does want to go. It's not a slow bike by any means, and the reason I chose this bike over any other 125s like the R125 or a Honda 125, and that's because one, I really like the colour scheme of this bike. I think it looks beautiful. I think it looks absolutely amazing. 2, it's very, very quick. I'm not really all about speed when it comes to bike, but I do like to be able to catch up to other people. I don't want to be the slowest one in the group. And 3, the performance on this bike, from what I've seen and from what I've heard, it's absolutely amazing. The parts are very, very easy to get, and it's very cheap and reliable.